We're going to learn how to configure FTP server, file transfer protocol server. So to start, let's start by adding two devices. So we've got two laptops, and then let's add a switch. And then for the purpose of this lab, we need to add two servers. One of these is going to be the FTP server, and the other one is going to be the DNS. All right, so let's start by connecting all those devices to each other. So let's connect it to the switch, connect the other device as well. All right, so let's start with the DNS. All what we need to do for the DNS, we need to add an IP address. Click on desktop, click on config, and just add 192.168. I'm gonna add .2.1 subnet mask, and then the DNS server is gonna be the same IP address that we've got at the top, 168.2.1. That's it. Let's click on config and just change the name to DNS server, and close the window. Now we've got it over here. Now let's go to the other one, which is the FTP. So let's change it to FTP server. FTP stands for File Transfer Protocol. And then go to the config and let's add the IP address. So the IP address is gonna be 192.168.2.200. Subnet mask over here. All right, let's close the window, and now let's configure our laptops. So start with the first one. Click on desktop, and then click on IP config, and let's add 192.168.2.2. And then let's add the configuration for the second laptop. And here we have 192.168.2.3. All right, so now let's get back to the FTP server. Click on services, click on FTP, make sure it's on. Now we need to add a user. By default, we've got here a Cisco, right? But we need to add our own. So we're gonna add Eva, and then her password is gonna be Eva123. We're gonna give her the right to write and read, add. Now we've got her over here, save. Now that we've done this, to connect, what we need to do is click on the first device, go to command prompt. In command prompt, type FTP, and then add the IP address, which is 192.168.2.200. Enter. And now what we have here, it says that it's connected, and it says welcome to FTP server. All right, once we got this, we need to enter the username and the password. Remember, we added the username Eva, enter. And now we need to add the password, Eva123, enter. Once you're logged in, obviously when you type the password for security purposes, it won't show it, but it wouldn't add logged in if you haven't added it properly. So once you've done this and you get the option to log in. All right, so how are we gonna test the FTP? What we're gonna do is click command prompt and then click on text editor, and then let's add here a file called testing FTP server, and then save it. So click on file, click on save, and call it test. Click OK. Now let's get back to the command prompt, and then we're gonna ask it to get it. So what we're gonna write is put tst dot text, right? So text stands for the type of file. Enter, and we've got it. So it says copied, transfer completed. All right, perfect. So let's close this, and now let's go back to the other device and let's download that file. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to command prompt, and in command prompt we're gonna start by type FTP and then 192.168.2.200, enter. Now we got it, it's ask for the username, so the username is Eva, and then the password it's Eva123, enter. All right, so now we're logged in. So what we want to do is we want to extract the the file. We're gonna type get and then test.txt, enter, and it says file transfer in progress, transfer completed, and we've got it. So now what we've done in this lab is we have configured the FTP server, we have tested it, and we have also successfully downloaded the file in another laptop. And with this, we would have finished this lab.